That's 3, 4.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Right.
Tissue.
Hello.
Testing. Getting sweaty. Testing. Test.
Is it rolling?
Hey! 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is John Marr Jr. I've got a projector running in my head. I'm a film guy. I remember my dad screening football film in the back room. That light and the sound. When he showed me that cameraman on the roof, I was hooked. Then I met a puzzle, my film teacher in college, Charles Nedwin Hockman. Maybe there's a piece of film somewhere that explains him. What kind of man can you find in a film can?
Ned Hockman, man of mystery, man of science, man of cinema, man of 1,000 faces. And his wife, Loretta, poor, long-suffering Loretta. Tonight, we ask the question, just who the hell is he?
Who is this celluloid spark of nature's fire? Is he champion or comedian? Guru or gadfly? Inspiration or complication? Is this a tumbling tribute to a unique man of film? Or is it
Heavy Hammers?
Sports for the family?
Stark Fear?
No, it's Ned Hockman Immortalized.
And you don't get all of this theory, semitologist expressions of supposedly communications over and beyond and under and all of the things that, it's...
Well, what is it all about then?
Talent.
Well, it's hard to figure Ned's talent at first. He gestures and struts and scowls. He grabs the spotlight, and he baffles everybody with his lectures.
The more that you can make something so that people enjoy it or seem a part of it, why, it's real hot and they can't remember it.
What the hell was that?
Film experts analyze the Hockman mystique. What spark keeps these students after the bell?
Fantastic. And we talked about in a previous class that the most powerful thing in the world, I say, is the splice. By the splice, I mean taking two pieces of film and splicing it together.
Hey, wait a minute. What's a plot?
These boots are Lucchese boots. They're made by the pioneer Italian bootmaker in San Antonio. I like quality in my motion pictures and also in my boots. But what you do is, instead of buying regular shoes at $20, $23 a whack, you just save up your money. You know, go barefooted for a while.
Coming out of my association with Bud Wilkinson, he used to tell his teams, never panic and always maintain your dignity.
Who was the idiot that didn't fill out the form here and for the equipment? I don't know. I just talk, and you just can't get through to somebody. You know, you've got to learn how to handle the goddamn equipment before you can be an artist.
Bravo. Cut it. What's a plot? The structure. What's a plot? Plot.
With Ned Hockman, you have to look beyond the chaos to see how good a teacher he really is. And the plot could be Ned meets film. Love at first sight. He grew up in Carnegie, Oklahoma, population 1,200.
The very first motion picture that I remember was Uncle Tom's Cabin. And my folks took me to the Carnegie Theater, and it was such a large crowd, lines of crowd trying to get in, and I was so little that I was being crushed. My first great love for a movie star was Claudette Colbert. And we'd go to all of her pictures. And then as a young soldier out at the First Motion Picture Unit in Hollywood, the first time I went to the Maskers Club, I was a sergeant. And across from me was Claudette Colbert. And she looked at me like this and she said, "What rank are you?" And I said, "Well, ma'am, I'm a sergeant." And she said, "You're so young." Then we formed up a unit, and our particular unit, the 10th Combat Camera Unit, was assigned to India and Burma and China.
And that was the thing Ned was particularly good at. The snatch and grab stuff, the stuff where you didn't know from moment to moment what was going to happen, and so you just went ahead and took over.
We received orders, all cameramen shooting motion pictures, not to use any filters in World War II, because the film was being shot all over the world and matched up to show America the fighting. Well, immediately in my mind, I said, if every cameraman in the world is not shooting with filters, I'd better put one on. And so I put on a 15G, and everywhere I'd go, I'd put a 15G filter on in black and white.
On one occasion, at least, he got shot down behind the Japanese lines. And by the time he came wandering back, he found that his buddies had divided up everything that he owned.
After the war, he's back in Oklahoma shooting Big Red football. With over 500 games in the can, he's still going strong.
I missed 1 year when I was recalled to Korea. Had to bring about justice in the world.
Commander Hockman sees more combat, but returns home unscathed.
With 2 wars behind him, Ned builds the OU Film Unit, attracting an eager team of young filmmakers. Many stay with the business. I'm talking about you, pal. Ned directs shows for television and the military, along with hundreds of educational subjects.
Meanwhile, interest in film leaps. Hockman teaches while some students stumble.
The thing I dislike most is people not carrying through with their responsibility. It's a joke that you don't want to be called a certain thing by Hockman.
What is that?
This shithead.
The University of Oklahoma is a bureaucratic behemoth. Here, the dean and his wife enroll new students. Excitement runs rampant. What an atmosphere to launch bold new projects.
Well, for example, you get this piece of paper, and it's someone telling you that you have to fill it out and wait 14 days. Well, immediately I said, well, I can't do it. So then I find ways to do it faster.
Despite the university, his unit crackles with energy. He zeroes in on talent. The spark jumps, and good films get made.
Someone in my position isn't worth a damn unless he's got talented students.
Ned, how do you work this thing?
Cigar there.
Make me dizzy.
What's the plot?
Hello.
Never panic and always maintain your dignity.
As you know, Ned's pretty much of an instant expert on everything.
But I think that what it really is that if you're an artist, you've got to be your own psychiatrist. Well, I really talk to myself.
Ned, you're so full of baloney.
Really, I don't know what you mean.
Strutting down the street, got rhythm in your shoes, shuffling away the blues, Mr. Taptoe. You haven't any time to lose, Mr. Taptoe. Who's the one you're gonna choose? New straw hat with a candy bar stripe, sharper than an old tin type, Mr. Taptoe. Don't you know the time is right, Mr. Taptoe? Who you taking out tonight? Where did you get your fancy clothes? The pretty hand-painted tie, cigar sticking out from under your chapeau. Who you gonna dance with tonight, Mr. Taptoe? Got a ribbon bow, got a dress that's new. The pavement's big enough for two, Mr. Taptoe, to dance alongside of you, Mr. Taptoe. Tell me what you're gonna do. Mr. Taptoe, Mr. Happy Tappy Toe, Mr. Taptoe, I wanna go along with you. I wanna go along with you.
Why does Ned always run late? Because he spends so much time in front of the mirror? Or is it the push-ups? Hey, Ned, what about work? Oh. His wife Loretta tries to keep him on time. But time marches on. Oh. Up, he's late again. That Loretta Hockman must be a saint.
I suppose you say my wife is the perfect woman. She's had to put up a hell of a lot. You really have to have a very understanding, beautiful person to put up with people in a motion picture field. I wanted to make a motion picture, and we were one of the first runaways from Hollywood.
The film was called Stark Fear, written by Dwight Swain here. Ned directed.
And if I had stopped and thought about all the problems involved, I wouldn't have done it.
The picture did not quite hit the mark, but it still turns up on late-night television.
I think you've got to have courage, and you've got to not panic in any situation. I always did like that. Never panic and always maintain your dignity. Now, putting it on film and putting it together is easy. But the next problem area is distribution. So getting the right idea. Say you were going to do a motion picture for the mass tomorrow. You have to think about what's going to be a year to 2 years from now. And on top of all of that, you've got to have accountants and people always watching the money. And I don't know but what all art form is a business. And this business of saying, oh, an artist is different or an art form it is. It isn't. All art forms are a business. And it's got to be treated like that or you don't eat.
Art? Business? Hockman, I'm starving.
The Heavy Hammer Manufacturing Company, leader in its field, with its field the entire world, has grown from one...
If you cannot relate, if the subject matter cannot relate to you or you cannot relate to the subject matter, forget it. I always tell my students that hesitation is their greatest enemy and to expect the unexpected.
It's really a great thrill to set and to put little pieces of film together.
Ned smokes.
What's the word, Ned?
I think that the most powerful thing in the world is the splice of film. You can juxtapose this scene and this scene together and create another idea.
And I have just as much energy and dreams as I did when I was 21. So much so that I can't get everything done that I want to get done. The daydreams of a person is very, very important, and I think a person should daydream. He should, or she should fantasize and put them down on paper. You've got to have ideas, and you've got to put them down on paper. You got to see it first before you can change it into a motion picture.
Ned's been shot down more than once, but what a flight.
You know, I don't think I've really done very much.
Yeah.
Full artist.
They'd say, Hockman, when do you ever work?
Ned Hockman was awarded the prestigious David Ross Boyd Professorship at the University of Oklahoma.
I couldn't believe it. Can I give you a word of advice?
Whoops.
Never panic and always maintain your dignity.
Well, there he is. Old Ned, alive and breathing.
What I like to say is, I like quality. I don't call and also in the daydreams of a person. I've heard with other people once. Do you hear it different?
We love you, Ned.
The most important thing is that when the light comes on, somebody flips on the light, and the audience says, "Oh, I see what you mean." Man, that's it. I love it.
Good night.
All right, any more left?
Nope.
Fantastic.